Guys, here we are, week 4, and it's Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Oh, I love Easter. I love getting up in the morning, going to the early morning sunrise service, having brunch in Courtney Hall, and then going to a couple of services after church, and then spending the rest of the day with my family. I love Easter, but one of my favorite things about Easter is actually the liturgy that we get to hear. The pastor will say, "He is risen," and the congregation will respond, "He is risen indeed." You know, that first Easter, the news it felt too good to be true to many of the disciples. In John's gospel, actually, Jesus has to show up in the resurrected flesh before they'll believe. Thomas, one of the disciples, won't believe until he's put his finger in the nail marks on Jesus' hands and feet. And then when he does so, he says, "My Lord and my God." And Jesus responds saying, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe." Jesus is talking about us. Maybe during this COVID-19 crisis, we feel like those first disciples, that the good news of the resurrection, it just feels too good to be true. That when we hear about new infection numbers every day and death toll numbers rising every day, it feels like death does actually have the last word. But the good news of the resurrection is that in Jesus Christ, God has conquered sin and death. That sin and death do not have the last word. So whatever you're going through right now, whatever you're struggling with, whatever despair is lurking in your heart or fear or sadness, that does not win. That does not have the last word. Even death. The good news of the resurrection is that there is more life than we can possibly imagine. And God invites us into that newness of life. And so my challenge to you as a family, maybe if you're watching this by yourself in your room right now, go downstairs and say to your parents, "He is risen." Or say to your family, "He is risen." And teach them how to say, "He is risen indeed." Because what we're saying is it true? And then we all respond, "Yes, it really is." Is it too good to be true? Yes, and more. He is risen indeed. God's up to something. Christ is risen indeed.